Well, look, I think one of the legacies that you're going to see now from Rishi Sunak's government with the rebellion from Conservative MPs against the Windsor framework, having been so small, having the government got that through so easily, is they are clearly now going to be worried less, the government, about Tory Brexiteer MPs rebelling. I mean, it is quite unbelievable to think that of the relatively few number of Tory MPs who actually had the bottle to vote against this latest EU deal, they included the two people most recently elected to be Tory leader in Liz Truss and Boris Johnson. Clearly the priority, I think, for many Tory MPs in that vote was party unity ahead of the local elections and indeed the general election. But what you're now seeing as a result, I think, is further backsliding, with the Sunak government basically determining that the threat of a serious Brexiteer Tory MP revolt is relatively small. And so you have this situation where we've seen, as I've highlighted before, Rishi Sunak had talked about reviewing every EU law on our statute book starting in his first 100 days. Well, we saw the retained EU law bill backed in Parliament, a comfortable 59 votes majority to scrap or reform, review all remaining EU laws by the end of this year. Instead of delivering on that and just getting on with it, we've seen endless faffing around, endless reports that the civil service have simply said this can't be done. Seem to spend more time whinging about it than getting on with it. Others disputing actually how hard this is. You've got Stephen Barrett there saying he could do it on his own within a year. And you even had, of course, the report there that Rishi Sunak was asked by senior civil servants to delay this bonfire of EU law until 2026. It seems to me that the unelected blob run in rings really around the government at the moment. Of course, you've seen recently Dominic Raab resign. You're now seeing the same with Steve Barclay, for goodness sake. And when it comes to this pledge to scrap EU laws, it looks now that instead of more than 4,000 going by the end of this year, it's going to be around 800 only. Kemi Badenoch, the Telegraph reporting there, speaking to Tory MPs, saying that civil servants had told her it was impossible to remove the 4,000 EU laws, and that instead only 1 in 5 EU laws will now be scrapped. Now, a blame game seems to be going on. Some Tory MPs, it seems, not very happy with Kemi Badenoch on this, saying you need a tough minister, but she is a lame minister who's having rings run around her by Remainer officials. And indeed, Badenoch's allies there not denying that the government is preparing to ditch this end of the year sunset clause. Oh, and yet again, you had this ridiculous aspect of the unelected lords expected to pummel this anyway. But look, this whole situation, I think, looks very bad for the government. Pretty big U-turn, and I imagine huge disappointment from many Brexiteer voters. But let me know what you make of all of this in the comments below, guys. I will keep bringing you all the latest on this and more, so please do whack this video a quick thumbs up. And of course, as ever, cheers for watching.